Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. I still hope we can find a way to hold the...
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas. What if we sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
Such a huge favor, and I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the more, we should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... you know who? She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous. Her? You're...
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were... But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine. Well, yes, but... Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady... I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider...
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news.
Wait, where does Farina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury.
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Woo! What?
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. It is my duty to support commissioners in any way.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Farina.
What is the situation? There's no...
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives... Not that there's anything wrong with this place, it's just, A bit of a step down from the Palais Marmonia.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't an earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Ah! Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few. I used to have a much... Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre faucilor or...
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad! Yeah, exactly! What the Traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either!
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro...
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help!
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then... Fine. I'll spare... So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so... Ah, I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine. But, given the present circumstances...
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for...
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play... Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you... Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new role.
Paimon can understand. But this is just a one-off part to fill in for...
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself. Which would be the same as no... So I'm not going to perform. And that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out? Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short into the...
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now. No, true, but... I mean, could you even... Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. Sorry. I didn't...
It's alright, Farina. Paimon just... Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. Alright then, we'll see you around, Farina!
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Farina's decision.
Exactly, but none of them believed me.
going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my
You didn't need to say it.
And that gives you the right to make a decision.
Shortly after you left, excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss?
Sorry. I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding.
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Farina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. Despite the fact that we failed to complete the...
Look, this is the last chance we have, though. If you're ill,
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new... I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So, the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot... All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me. Hello?
Farina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing?
I was just ever so slightly concerned when you came to talk with me earlier, and all before I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take it.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable. I felt very sheepish, having had a but in any case...
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack.
There's no need to think like that. I was wondering, if this troupe is so... If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must... Everyone seems so
We all want to believe that, but everything's been going downhill ever since we...
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder, as well as the artist...
What?
That's actually how I recognize...
She was a loyal fan of your performance. She rallied many people around. People loved our performances back then.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, none of us know anything about... It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things...
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides...
Yes, exactly. We all...
Well, good thing I followed the Traveler here. After...
For...
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from... But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that...
We unfortunately don't have any...
I don't need any compensation. Something I've begun to realize. The law only judges criminal behavior. What about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? An interesting answer. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late...
Still a fan of your old dramatic... You just want to get back in on the act.
No. This is a completely...
The name's not Swine!
Would you be willing to join me?
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Farina. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse...
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
Loaded.
Behold! Too slow. The wind rises. Too slow. Huh? Lady Farina?
What's Lady Farina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to... These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice.
Oh, please don't mention it.
So, you were saying the little Oceanid?
Yeah. Greatest regrets is that she never...
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah. We've been battling issues on every front, trying to reel... The protagonist of the story is a young Ocean. She longed to live just like any other... But one day...
So far, so good.
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. We need a proper ending so we can bring the...
We still haven't decided between a happy ending...
By true to life, you mean...
Yeah, like they... But then there's the question of what...
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light and one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Farina helping us...
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying...
Our director was constantly singing your praises.
Oh, stop. But one by one.
Makes sense. He went back to Poisson.
I thought the last thing...
Yeah, maybe...
Poisson. Nothing. I suppose my presence will... So, allons-y.
Too slow. If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Nice try.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. Well, get over here, you! How oblivious.
How are things in Poisson now?
Things are on the mend. Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. Which brings me to why I'm here. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is... It's not a perfect solution, but...
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate... Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can... I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, it's always easiest to just run away from your problems.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if... Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I'd be overjoyed if the people here... Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or... I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all...
I can't let myself see...
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship?
Ready.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll.
We don't mind. It's actually...
Great. Well, I don't know whether you can... As I stand here by the ship, one after another, people were taken, but they thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, and all the while, I played my part, but then the floodwaters finally came.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only...
I've had to go through... Eventually, fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario, that everyone rose to their responsibilities. But, on some level, freedom also means...
Paimon would have never...
Reward? I guess so. And back then, I didn't even dare to dream about... I was scared if someone believe in the Farina you see on stage. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about... That's what I really meant.
So that's where you were...
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I do. I once had... At least the choice is in my hands. All right. It's about time to head back.
Sure! Okay, let's head back.
Didn't you say you needed to...
Come on. Anyway,
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your characters. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly...
Oh no, looks like... We're back! Could you maybe put your differences in...
You're back. We've been enjoying Spina di... Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait...
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We have...
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he... outgrew that role.
Sorry.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too. Like when he... If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness.
Wait, that sounds kind of...
It's the most important line in the whole script. She kept quiet about all... It was only after she was gone that we...
You mentioned earlier that the troupe was like your...
Yeah. I spent some years taking whatever... It was like that, and she took me under her wing. Taught me to both sing and act.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of her, the other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty." One day,
Let me guess. Fortunately.
yeah, for
The day you hoped would never come.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to.
Farina? The Farina?
Please.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. Yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how... I'm sure you're already familiar. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. The people start to notice that all the fresh water... The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about... In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of...
Consciousness? You mean...
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover accepts her for who she is. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly...
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover.
Huh? But didn't they all treat...
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who...
Through her love for her human partner.
There's actually something else. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her what about if...
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me. And perhaps a...
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death. Both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the... We waited and waited at the rendezvous point. We looked for her.
The director was the kindest soul in the world.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told...
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing.
Vilma? The one who's...
Yeah, he's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have... Because... Well, speaking of the play being true to life,
What?
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. I did tell her how I felt once, but she said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention. Well, maybe then she could... And now...
Paulo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by Aureli. I won't let anyone get in the way.
In that case, you have to straighten things out. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Vilma.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But, funny you should ask, though.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone.
Behold! slow. Take it and have fun. This is tough going. Delphi.
As if this journey wasn't tough enough already with—
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the Traveler here. We don't... wait, why are you...
We're just curious, that's all.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into Indemnitium. Miss Free—
Precisely! And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so, as much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
C'est la vie, indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode for real.
Sorry to leave all the heavy—
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Fight!
Try louder!
Squall Fury! Stabilize!
Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered!
Time to testify. Into the shadows.
Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Vilma, are you—
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what?
I can explain. We've...
So, you think knowing... I care just as much as everyone else about make. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want...
Vilma, unless you mean to suggest that...
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Vilma. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone, but now I've made up my mind. The little Oceanid cannot be complete.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one. As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but... So, anyway, one day after a show, it seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. The drink in question was synth.
Isn't that the drink?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. But she didn't reprimand me for the merchant was... I was going to sort it, but things only... I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then. And after... Yeah, I got Aurelie killed.
Hey, don't say...
You traitor! What do you mean? You were afraid? This was a life and death... How could you be so...
Please, try not to get too worried.
Yeah, listen.
Stay calm. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the...
All I can say is I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back in my life.
Get out of my sight. Go!
That's enough! Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your... You keep saying that you...
I'm sorry.
On stage, The lead role is the focal point of the... But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. What she wanted was to build a... I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story.
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your... But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director O'Reilly and... What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that... For a moment there... If she'd seen Paulo and Villemont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed.
What you said,
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but...
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost. The end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the true...
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind, perhaps we can get a
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the end.
No.
Well...
Come, let's pay a visit to the...
You want to review some recovered items. Still, since you were the ones who discovered it...
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches...
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was... Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary... Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
Vacher took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day... wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much... Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her... wait. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering.
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. I'm sure this is what the troupe would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love. And she truly... Let's go. It's time...
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't... Well, Vilmont?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance. To make this a show, I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about director...
Then it's...
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never...
Don't underestimate my experience. If you want to move the audience with and aren't human, I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing the...
Thank you for the vote.
Then, let's not
Actually, before that, I'd like to, during the curtain call, please...
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant besides. A role commemorate...
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that...
Alright. I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go...
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show...
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that
No, don't...
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nervilette.
Behold! The wind rises.
Hey, look at that! Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too.
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for...
I understand. The story of the little O.C. I will say, however...
Huh? What do you mean?
Yes. And this is the...
At first, I just felt bad about... In the past. Maybe it's because...
I am truly delighted to... Now that you've regained some confidence...
Why would you suddenly ask a question?
Well, if the little Ocean, the experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own, it would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity.
Haven't I already made myself clear? Nor do I think it is... This experience, I must...
I see. I sincerely hope the show will serve it.
Thanks, Nervilette.
You are very well.
nice like this tomorrow as well.
News, everyone. It's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opera. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passion. Now, let's...
This is truly one...
The sooner we can finalize the ending. Fiamal and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going...
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation?
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us.
It's amazing. Even though Farina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance in...
This guy could be useful. Take him!
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever...
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen... If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Why?
Hey, what's going on? You're Oh no, not again.
They've... been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they'd cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that...
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You...
Miss Farina? I'd like to make...
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all...
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after every...
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my... No one likes regrets. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned...
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Is she here yet? Let's get here!
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle nourrit, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My... wish...
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté, et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Is it just me?
Who was that Lady Farina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for... Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The Little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my... It's too bad that I had to... Still, it felt good.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Farina after all. She's back.
Honestly, what does he do?
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work...
Yes, I know.
It's no big deal.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy...
This is a great chat and all. Paimon flew over to...
Oh, that... I've got no idea what happened there. I'll bet the audience has never seen such a real...
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder...
Let's go check on her as...
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want... If nothing else, we...
Welcome to Palais Mermonia.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original
How did the performance go? Was it
You'll be glad to...
That's what... I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry. Even though you...
I've had bad luck every...
Blaming your bad luck?
Oh, don't you start.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through. You could capitalize.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation.
You should do it. It suits you.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold... What about you, Miss Farina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I previously imagined. Maybe. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else. Yeah. There was once a time when I was... But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories. I want to watch them blossom and wither. See them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long... I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
if it isn't my dear partners.
That voice! It's Navia!
I didn't expect to.
How about you, Navia? Are you still busy rebuilding Poisson?
We've wrapped up most of the rebuilding, but there are still... Stocking up on materials, confirming construction... Well, though the victims have received relief payments from the court, in my opinion, as the administrators of Poisson, Spina di Rosula should take some responsibility as well. Our financial situation right now isn't the best, so all we've been doing is signing agreements for the damages to be repaid at a later date. Though just pieces of paper now, they demonstrate our commitment. They're necessary to restore the people's faith in us.
Oh,
oh, you bet. Between that and all the other errands I have to run. So before I came over this time, I took a page from Malus's book. And then, since Malus loved using shorthand, I decided to also follow his example and come up with some shorthand of my... But after running a few errands in the city, I'm kind of...
That does sound like you, all right. So what kind of shorthand did you use?
Oh, wanna take a look?
Let Paimon see! Wait, this looks like a piece of kelp wrapped around a stick. Okay, Paimon can definitely see how you might...
I thought that as long as I understood my shorthand...
Well, now you know for next time.
Anyway, I should have already taken care of worst comes to worst.
So you're going to head back now?
Yep, that's the plan. You said you don't have any plans, right?
It's a bit sudden, but Paimon doesn't see why not. What do you think, Traveler?
Then let's go. We'll take a boat over.
Oh, you mean the Aquabus, right? Like the Clementine line?
Oh, sorry. I meant... All right, follow me. I'll take you there. The engineer is...
So, Paimon has always wanted to ask...
Yeah, that's right.
If you provided the more... Spina di Rosula built all the lines, yet you still have to take us...
Well, what I heard is that most of our business... You are right that it is a bit strange, though. If you've already committed to build 3 lines, why not just add a 4th?
Yeah, that's what Paimon's saying. The Aquabus is so convenient. It's really a huge...
Well, it is what it is. You know what my father was like. Even I often struggle to figure out... But that would only be the case if he cared about what others thought. My father was always really stubborn. Once he made up his mind, good luck getting him to change it. From what I've heard, the rights of all the other members of the Spina only went as far as giving him advice or suggestions.
Huh. Well, that explains why you weren't on the greatest of terms.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't just let him keep getting his way.
Boss, the boat's ready. We can head out.
All right, then let's head out. It'll be a while before we get to Poisson. Let's keep talking.
Navia, what was your mother like as a person? Oh, Paimon's sorry. She totally forgot that you mentioned before that she passed away during childbirth, so you probably don't remember her.
That's all right. I've heard many stories about her. While my papa was stiff like a board, my mother was supposedly super cheerful and funny. They're complementary. My father would run the businesses.
Sounds like they were not just a well-matched couple, but fantastic business partners as well.
Yeah, but those are just stories and anecdotes after all. It's hard for me to piece together a more complete or intimate picture of her, but sometimes I'd still look at the Clementine line and wonder, where the Spina and Poisson Silver once said that a name is a kind of inscription, a way to etch a memory into the world. When given a name, a cold, inanimate object can gain a completely new meaning. So, I will always associate the line with her in my heart. Over the past few weeks, I've also begun to appreciate how water can take in and hold our most intense feelings and memories, as well as how one may reflect on their past by watching the sea. I've lost many beloved people and memories to the sea. Even though I cannot stop for them, the fact won't change that they existed in my life always. But I tell myself that I need to keep looking towards the future. Everyone, even my parents, have already overcome so. Besides, I'm the president of Spina di Rosula. I've got to keep my... We've reached the shore.
Navia, do you think she's doing all right? Okay, Paimon supposes you're right.
Boss, you're back! Traveler and...
Oh, hey!
Hey, we did hand over...
Thank you for the compliment. As you see, I've been working... Mr. Malus was an extremely...
All right. There's no... Were you waiting here for me? Did we manage to make any...
Yeah, we contacted a sculptor.
You're commissioning a...
So, basically, we've been meaning to commission a but since my father was known as Callisi, but now that his name has been cleared, and the town is all...
The funds to build the statue were freely
Me? I'm just the newbie president that's running around and causing everyone trouble. Maybe we can...
Hey, there's no need to be so humble. Didn't you
I agree wholeheartedly. I also
Hey. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I just don't think... Anyway, Florent, now it's up to us to confirm the final design, right?
Mm-hmm. We can ask the sculptor to start looking for a good block once we've decided, but we haven't had any real discussions yet on the possible designs. I feel like I should get a few promising designs first, and then send them over to you to review.
There's no need for all that. Let's decide on a design right now. Hey, you! Come over here with me. Modeling a few poses, of course. Didn't you say on the boat that Callus and Clementine sounded like great partners? Well, then there's no one better to fill... Florent, let's grab some reference shots.
You've got it, boss. I'll go get the camera.
Well, what do you think? Got any ideas? Well, I've actually discussed it a bit with Florent, so I want to pick your brain for a bit.
I'm all good here, boss. Feel free to start posing whenever.
Imposing, huh? Oh, I've got it. Let's try this.
This pose... It makes me...
But isn't Clementine's pose a bit too... If we were to stick with this pose, maybe people would wonder if...
Well, tabloids did indeed...
Oh, Paimon was just kidding! Please don't make Paimon dis...
What Florent meant was that we asked the journalist to choose a new alias. You're right, though, that this may not accurately represent the image of her in our hearts. Let's try to come up with something else. Ah, by that, do you mean as if we were standing on a boat and looking out at the sea? Sure, let's give that a try.
Whoa, you really remind Paimon of a cat.
Look over there, my dear Clementine, as you can see.
But there's something off with the composition. This pose makes Mr. Callus look too tall next to...
Oh, I see what you mean. Then let's swap.
Well, Paimon is a fan. A statue like this would look fantastic on a boat.